Hey, it's Dave here. I thought I'd jump on YouTube and do a thread or tag that Steve Carlson created a couple of days ago, and then I saw that Sherv did one as well. It's for the international tag, I guess is what it's called, and or world tag. The first prompt for it is show a reggae album or an album influenced by reggae. And I chose Augustus Pablo, King David's Melody, which also includes some dub and everything on it too. But yeah, he has a lot of different albums. So yeah, he plays his wind instrument among other instruments too, as I recall. But yeah, interesting little album, and also a good musician. I was trying to see on here what all he plays: melodica, piano, organ, xylophone, string synthesizer. And then Robbie Shakespeare's on here as well, and some other people I assume that he met or knows in Jamaica. So yeah, Augustus Pablo. This is on the Alligator label. Song sung in a different language, or album sung in a different language. Let's say this one here. This is Flaco Jimenez, El Gran, and is on the Joey label, which is the first Joey label record and only Joey record label that I have. I really love this cover, though. There used to be a restaurant in the town I used to live in West Texas that had this kind of setup here. And they had like a giant swordfish on the wall. And it's a pretty good Mexican food. But yeah, all this is sung in Spanish. And, you know, as you know, Flaco Jimenez used to play with Ry Cooder. He still might, I don't know. But yeah, all these are in Spanish. So Flaco Jimenez, the name of the album is La Vida Materia. Now that could be one of my additions to Steve Carlson's. I can't pronounce the name right. So there you go. Tribal Beat, an album with the tribal beat. I picked Fila's album here. This is an Army arrangement. And I think Fila, if you know anything about African music, you probably already know about this or some of his music. It's recorded with Egypt 80, which is sort of like his backup band. It's kind of got a lot of different people in the band that plays various things: flugelhorn, tenor sax, alto sax, piano, congas, drums, and various instruments. This is on the Yaba label. So, or celluloid, I don't know, maybe that's a subsidiary. But yeah, Fila, Army arrangement. Show an album from the Far East. Go with Kitaro's Silk Roads. I believe this album was made for as a soundtrack for a kind of like PBS type thing about the Silk Roads. But yeah, here's Kitaro. I got a lot of glare off my overhead light, so yeah. It's a 2-record set on a Cook label, which I've always liked. So yeah, a lot of Kitaro's music, if not all of it, probably falls into that New Age category, which he wasn't very fond of. And And yeah, I do think that's kind of selling it short in a lot of ways. And he plays synthesizer, which may be why it falls into that. You know, he plays several kinds of synthesizer and stuff like that. So, Mellotron, you know. So anyway, yeah, Kitaro, Silk Roads. Show an album with sitar on it, sitar music. This is a Ravi Shankar's Ragas with Ali Akbar Khan. It's like that. Inside. 2-record set too. So yeah, Ravi Shankar. Show us an album from Scandinavia, and all these can be in any genre you want. This is Tajir Ripdahl's Waves. He's a guitarist from Norway, and I think all the musicians on here, except for John Christensen, I'm not sure if he's Norwegian or what, but yeah, it looks like the other guys may be from that area as well. ECM Records. Always love the artwork on ECM. So, yeah. Tajir Ripdahl. The next one is show an album that is from or influenced by Africa. This is Viva Zimbabwe. Dance music from Zimbabwe. This is a compilation of different bands. So yeah, I don't know that I recognize any of the bands on here. Yeah, so, you know, it's on Hannibal Records. Show an Australian album. This is the only one I have at the current time. This is was really popular on the radio way back when, or on MTV, whatever. This is Men at Work, and it had that, oh golly, one of their famous songs on it. Oh golly, what was the name of it? Mr. Heckle and Mr. Jive, was that it? Talking about eating a Vegemite sandwich. Anyway, Cargo by Men at Work. Still enjoy listening to some of it occasionally from time to time. That was Australia. Show an album from South America. This is Kingdom of the Sun, Inca Heritage. And Peru's Inca Heritage. This is on the Explorer series. It has all these different musicians on it. There's panpipes and Andean harp style instruments on it. Flutes and, you know, it's mostly instrumental. So, you know, if you don't want to hear singing or whatever, this is a good way to listen to it. Kingdom of the Sun. Recorded in Peru by David Lewiston. So, yeah. Interesting album. Let's see. Show an album from an island nation. This is from Indonesia. It's Sangkala. Like that. And has all the instruments from down in that area. It's on the Icon label, has a neat map on the inside of it, of Indonesia, which is a series of islands. recorded in Jakarta, Indonesia. And let's see. Yeah. Island Nation. Show an album from the Middle East. This is, I'll have to read it because I can't ever remember how to pronounce his name. He's a Pakistani singer. Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, and it also has Michael Brooks on it, who is a guitarist, and he probably plays other instruments as well. But I really like the design that is on this album or CD cover. I can show you. This is the inside. Like I said, he's a Pakistani singer. And then there are also like kind of electronic bits from Michael Brooks, who uses a guitar and rechannels that stuff. But all in all, pretty neat album. That is Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. Let's see if I can show that has the name of that in. Here it is, like that. Show an album from a very cold country. Had a little bit of a problem with that, but I'm gonna say Stravinsky, who is from Russia. This is his Petrushka album, which is about a ballet about this little puppet here. And you would think it would be kind of like a children's thing, which it kind of is in a way. But it's also about kind of, I think it's about a triangle between these two male puppets vying for the attention of this one female puppet. But yeah, sort of along the lines of the British Punch and Judy type shows or whatever. But this is mostly piano and orchestra. So yeah, Petrushka by Stravinsky, Russian composer. Let's see, show some garage rock. I don't have any garage rock. The only thing I have in garage rock actually is this Nuggets album here, which most people are familiar with. And aside from that, yeah, I don't really have a lot of it. I mean, there's this, which is ska. But yeah, I'm not a huge garage rock fan. Favorite album from another country. Well, this is usually my default, and it's a compilation album. But it was put out by Peter Gabriel a long time ago, I guess in the 80s or maybe late 70s, 82. And it has a bunch of different foreign bands and musicians on here. You were talking about drum rhythms, or what was it, tribal beat. This thing starts off with the Burundi tribe in Africa, and segues into a Peter Gabriel song, Across the River. But yeah, there's a lot of things on here. It's got an XTC song on it. It's kind of like African music and world musicians and people that were influenced by them. Of course, it has a nice inside 2-record set with various musicians on here. It talks about all the different types of music. A little map of everything. You know, this is one of those albums that I think they should put out for Record Store Day. And then finally, an album title or group hard to pronounce. Well, there's probably a lot of them. But I'm going to go with this, although I can say his name is Vangelis or Vangelis, however you want to pronounce it. This is from an animation film, I think. But this is part of his name right here. And I can't pronounce it, but I can kind of stumble my way close to it. But like I said, it's Vangelis, the Apocalypse of Animation is what it means, but I can't hardly say that either, which is French. Vangelis was from a Greek composer, did a lot of synthesizers and stuff. And this is from that film. And it's a really pleasant album. So there you have it. Vangelis, however you want to pronounce this. So yeah, that was my tag for Steve Carlson's World Tag. And hope everybody's doing well. It's supposed to get cold here for us like next week, pretty quick. But overall, it hasn't been a bad winter. So yeah, we'll talk to you later. Enjoy yourself.